Oh, hey guys. Oh, my hair. Let me comb my hair. Yeah, so anyhow, I want to talk about something that isn't really talked about. And it has to do with nomading. You know, nomading, van dwelling, boondocking, all these buzz terms, because it's hip to be a nomad, and it's hip to go boondocking, and it's hip to be a van dweller and all this stuff. And but you know how it is when you see your typical boondocker video or nomading video. They've got their $75,000 nomad vehicle that's all pimped out, and it's like Ken and Barbie, talking about their wondrous adventures being nomads and boondocking and stuff. But that's not reality. So anyways, this is going to be a short video. But yeah, this is something you'll never hear anybody talk about when it comes to nomading and shit like this. So I wanted to go over it with you briefly. Let's see. So we'll get up here. I'm going to turn the camera around. So here we have my fruit basket, and it's full. Look at how it's like overflowing with fruit. I've got grapefruit. I've got peaches and pears, or not pears. Peaches and nectarines. Look at that. And then I've got over here, we've got just a simple box of some generic macaroni and cheese, farmhouse bread, hearty white farmhouse bread. Here's another loaf, rye seeded from Pepperidge Farm, full loaf of bread. Here's some hamburger buns from Pepperidge Farm as well. Eight sesame buns. Here we got 2 cantaloupes. Here's some more nectarines. I got more nectarines. Yeah, we got more. Here, what's going on in here? We got a big ass bag of grapes. Another big ass bag of grapes back behind there. Here's a giant big ass bag of more grapefruits. There's more nectarines. What else did I get today? A couple cans of Campbell's vegetarian vegetable soup. A couple cans of pinto beans. A big ass bag of dried cherries. Yeah, if you're like a nomad type of person, or you're interested in the nomad life and all this and that and stuff, food is a thing, right? Food. We all eat, right? And nomading costs money. And with the economics, modern economics being as confusing as they are today, and a seemingly hopeless landscape to navigate, the economic landscape, it's good to be able to have access to food, especially if you're nomading, or doing this kind of stuff. You're going to have to pay for gas, car insurance. I mean, this is a lot of money. Unless you're a trust fund baby and you just got access to money, you're going to have to live frugal. You're going to have to be thrifty, live on the thrifty end and be frugal, because you're going to need money to be traveling around and boondocking. Well, what better way? I mean, food is pretty expensive today too, right? So where do you think I got all this food? Let's look at it. Look at this overflowing fruit basket. I mean, like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to eat all this. And this is not cheap. Like a loaf of farmhouse, Pepperidge farmhouse bread. It's like average fucking $5. And again, this too, $5 just for a loaf of bread. You know? I mean, this shit ain't cheap. Look at all this shit. And all the shit I showed in there, you know? So where am I getting all this food? Am I a trust fund baby or something? I must just be a trust fund baby, right? Yeah. So, you see, what I'm going to talk about is not popular because it's not cool. It's not, you know, but it's not fashionable to talk about what I'm talking about. When I'm, you know, showing you all this food, where did I get it? I got it at a food bank. I got it at the fucking food bank. But see, it's not fashionable to talk about food banks when you're a Ken and Barbie couple with your $75,000, you know, Mercedes boondocking van. You know, it's not fashionable to talk about food banks, you know. So nobody ever talks about food banks when it comes to nomading and this kind of life. But why not? Why aren't they talking about it? Because it's not fashionable, right? Because it's all about fashion. You know, because it's all about clicks, likes, views, subs, fashion. Everything has to be fashionable. We can't just speak the truth, whether it's fashionable or not. No. We don't want to. We can only speak truths that are fashionable. So that's why nobody ever talks about food banks. Food banks. You know? If you're a nomad, you know, food is a thing, right? Food is a thing. And, you know, the cost of living is the cost of being a nomad. Dude, I got all that food for free. And that particular food bank, the second and fourth Monday of every month, boom, I could stock up on all this shit the second and fourth Monday of every month. And that's only the one food bank. Then there's another one that I can go to once a week. And this doesn't even include like soup kitchens and shit. You know, all these people, they think they're above the soup kitchen and they're above food banks. You know what happens to all this food bank food, if people don't access it? It gets thrown away. It goes to the garbage. Did you know that at least 50% of all food gets thrown away before it even reaches the grocery store? So anyways, yeah, food banks. And soup kitchens. People think that the food is not good at soup kitchens or whatever. Like, they come up with excuses to not access. When really what it is it's just not fashionable. It won't go over well with their friends if they go to like a soup kitchen. Dude, I've eaten out of many soup kitchens. Soup kitchen type snarks. Like, I don't know what they call them today, but it's basically a soup kitchen. You know, and the food is fucking almost always good. And I guarantee you, it's probably more healthy. No, it is more healthy than eating at Carl's Jr. You know how much it costs to eat a meal at Carl's Jr.? Like, the average price is close to $20 for one meal at Carl's Jr. You know, and eating out of a soup kitchen, the food is healthier than if you were to go to Carl's Jr. And you might be like, oh, well, I'm above going to Carl's Jr. Well, look at all the people that go to all these shitty fast food restaurants and eat that garbage. Look at all of them, you know? See, I'm not a big health nut. I'm not all like freaked out about bodily health. Right or wrong, it's just not something I'm all that. You know why? Because it costs money to be. You know, who can afford to be healthy? The majority of people can't afford to eat healthy. You know, dude, you can't even afford to buy food that isn't healthy. Again, how much does it cost to get a meal at Carl's Jr.? Oh, only $20. And so you're paying to be poisoned. Why pay to be poisoned when you can go to the soup kitchen and guaranteed the soup kitchen food is going to be healthier than Carl's Jr. and it's going to taste better? See, this is what's funny. People don't want to talk about this stuff when it comes to nomading and stuff like this. Dude, I'm telling you. Look at all this food I got. I'm going to have trouble eating all this food. I better get busy and start eating. I got to go. See you, boys.